Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Java, and thank you for joining me because this is Sunday, and I appreciate you all being here. It's for the week of November 5th, 2023. First, I'm going to hit over what's going on with the markets, what happened on Friday, what we can look forward to, and then a couple of other things that I would like to bring up and get your opinion on. So, let's start with this. We've got the MMRI as our favorite risk indicator from Greg Manorino. It has gone below the 300 mark of extreme risk. Now we're just in high risk. However, it has come back quite a bit, and that's because the debt, the yield, 10-year yield, and the dollar both came down. And as we spoke about before, that's very positive for stocks. So what happened was on Wednesday, they paused their rate hikes, and that was seen as positive for the markets because they're not going to be crushing us with interest rates going higher. And then on Friday, the jobs reports were terrible. And bad news is good news for the markets because it means the Federal Reserve won't step in, or they might be cutting rates, is what investors think. So we are now formally in a recession, and it is risk on environment for stocks and markets. And I'll talk a little more about that in a bit as to why. So for this calendar, we're a bit light. We are getting the trade deficit on Tuesday, a couple of Fed presidents speaking some numbers, and we've still got some earnings coming out, although most of the larger earnings is done. So we do have holiday on Friday for Veterans Day. So we'll be factoring that in as now. And as I was saying, for now, bad news for the economy is good news for the stock market because they do believe that the Federal Reserve could possibly start cutting rates, if not continuing to pause. I think they'll continue to pause for now. We'll see what happens before December. We've also got banks beginning to crumble. Had another one close and not give anyone warning. So we've been telling people to get your money out of the banks, especially commercial banks, because credit unions work under a charter. So they're a little different, a little safer. If you have to keep your money in an institution, you feel like you have to have somebody else choose a credit union. Anyway, for the stock market, Wall Street closed its best week out of the year. So that just tells you that people need a place to find their money, to put their money. So since interest rates and all of that are pulling back, then it's going back into riskier assets, meaning stocks. So the money supply, which is M1, this is from the Federal Reserve. I wanted to show you this graph because it shows very clearly we're in a trend and how ridiculous they became when the pandemic hit, the increase in the money supply. And now they've been kind of working on it with those interest rate hikes, bringing it down. And we had it drop significantly this past week. It doesn't quite show in this graph because this is a bit lagging. However, we've had a tremendous drop in the money supply. And where they really want us is to revert back closer to this trend line. So for this reason, I think they're not going to be cutting rates anytime soon. But this is more with the spending and the supply of money. And this is just cash reserves. They've also got the M2, which includes savings accounts. So it's a little more buffered, but they want this to come down. And if that means that you lose your job so you can't spend any more money, that's what they're targeting. And that's why the job losses were such a significant increase for the market on Friday. And I think that will continue tomorrow. So we'll go over that more tomorrow morning. So I wanted to bring this up. Crypto, it's a little earlier, we're moving off of this. However, regulators in Singapore, Japan, the UK, and Switzerland, and actually the Middle East as well, they missed this one, but they're collaborating on asset tokenization tests. So this isn't necessarily cryptocurrency, but they're kind of setting the rails in the systems to build this up. So the banks all had an issue to where they could not clear deposits, and this included Wells Fargo and Bank of America, all of the large ones, because it was a clearinghouse issue, which is between the main banks. That has been replaced with Fed Now, but they don't want to talk about that. They're having issues with this, and there's other things going on in the underlying, but they're calling it a glitch. So anyway, moving off of this glitch now has competition. And we're also watching the BRICS nations, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and also growing. They're seeing a massive surge in global transactions. So they're trading more with each other directly in their native currencies. And on the back end, they're also setting up asset tokenization. So they're opening the roads for direct trade currency. Before, they used to have to trade in the US dollar, purchase US dollars first, and then trade in US dollars. And they're not doing that anymore. So on to the local news. Basically, we're watching Evergrande still in December 4th to affect the real estate market. It's the largest developer in China. But if they have to liquidate their assets, then that's going to certainly affect, well, globally as well as the United States. So we've got downtown San Francisco McDonald's. After 30 years, they closed this location. And they said it's not feasible in the short term or in the midterm. So they just chose to close it rather than revamping it, and they own other stores like outside of the area. So that says quite a bit. We've also got Ford announcing layoffs. So the story behind this is there was the United Auto Workers strike, and they did not include this location. So when they came to a deal, they left this place out. So then they decided to cut their staff here to make up for where they have to bolster on the other side. So we'll see more of this happening, cutting down in the labor. We've also got Oregon's pension. So they are one of the largest in the US. So they are cutting, they sold NVIDIA and Intel, as well as stock in Ford and GM. So when we talk about big money, we're talking about pension funds, and Oregon is one of the largest. So you're going to see moves in these three tomorrow to the downside, probably going to overcorrect. However, these will definitely be movers. So off of the markets, we've got Russia squeezing Biden admin with the nuclear move. What they're talking about is they have retracted from the nuclear test ban treaty, although they've said that they will not do any nuclear testing unless the United States does first, but they're still testing their ballistic missiles. So, and this was a success in their eyes. And we've also got the US was making tests in Nevada as well as other places. And they've now created a new bomb, new quote unquote bomb can kill more people, much more effective. The new, better, brighter bomb, which is, people lose sight of the fact that these are human lives. And it's all for these politicians. These are people that don't even know each other. They're creating divisions so we hate each other, and so that this is okay. They're trying to justify it. Anyway, if you haven't heard the name Deagle, the Deagle Papers, I want to go over that sometime, but we'll see if that one gets cut. May not be able to show that one. Anyway, another time. So I wanted to go over a couple of lava updates because I had someone that gave me a bit of a hard time talking about climate. So I talk about a lot of things here because I want people to think about things for themselves. And this is just to bring it to your attention because most people don't have the time to look into these. So I want to be here for that. But if you disagree with me and you think things are elsewhere, and I've had a few people, Nachos, thank you so much. Shout out to you, bringing some things to my attention as well as Oldman that people need to know. And if you disagree, please put it in the comments. Let us know why. Share it with everybody because that's what we're here for. This isn't mainstream media. It's not one way. And I can understand and accept that I'm wrong on some things. So please. Anyway, lava updates. Making it rain, the science of weather manipulation, because this is real and we've got it in effect. And in fact, we are using it at this very moment. If you don't believe me, I brought up a couple other articles. And I'm posting the links here in their full so that you can type this in if you need to, because I'm going to try to put the links in the description, but sometimes those get ripped out. I've noticed YouTube does not like some of the links, even if they're valid, saying I'm trying to spam or whatever else. So anyway, this is talking about weather warfare, the US military's experiments in climatic warfare. So this is going on right now. I've also got a second article here on global research for the weather warfare. Pardon me. And the program is called HARP, stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. It's been going on for some time, so it's now active. This is an old executive summary speaking about the focus and goal of this program, and it's come to fruition. So they're talking about by 2025, well, we've got it now, it's 2023, the US aerospace forces can quote unquote own the weather by capitalizing on these technologies. And basically, in short, here, talking about the purpose of this is to outline strategies so that future weather modification can achieve military objectives rather than provide a detailed technical roadmap. So they're talking about these warfighting applications, and it's in use right now. Anyway, just want to bring that up to you. And before I sign off, I did want to show this picture because I thought it was, well, I liked it. Thought it was interesting. This is lava. It's a lava hole, lava vent. And these lava flows kind of look like people going into Hades here. So anyway, with volcanologist. And so with this, I would like to wish you all a wonderful day, wonderful week. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.